Hind bint Maktoum Al Maktoum is the First Lady of Dubai, whom almost no one has ever seen or heard. By the way, many mistake this lady for the First Lady. She can indeed often be seen within her family circle. But that is Mama Nora, the mother-in-law of Rashid and the mother of Sheikh Hind. Unlike her daughter, she does not hide her face and willingly poses for photographers. Meanwhile, Hind has managed to make a mark in the Guinness Book of Records. Her wedding was one of the most expensive and lavish in history. Neither the Princes of Monaco nor members of the British royal family could boast such extravagance. Sheikh Hind married her cousin Sheikh Mohammed Rashid when she was 17 years old. Clearly, when such influential families unite through dynastic marriage, one can expect Eastern grandeur and unparalleled opulence. Sheikh Mohammed Rashid's wedding became the first major public event in Dubai. The heir had his share of fun, changing women like gloves. It is no wonder his parents were relieved to finally show. The future head of the throne has settled down. He was 30 years old at the time. For the wedding, a stadium with 20,000 seats was built, where guests could witness horse and camel rides. Above the stadium, Dubai Air Force planes performed aerobatic maneuvers. Entry was strictly for VIPs, while ordinary mortals were accommodated around the vast structure. They were treated to several days of festive food. The bride herself received lavish gifts: carpets, jewels, luxurious fabrics adorned with diamonds and rubies. But seeing all this beauty on her is not possible. Hind strictly adheres to the Islamic purdah system, essentially meaning seclusion for women, allowing them to maintain spiritual purity and chastity. According to tradition, a woman should not stand out. Her lot is to spend her entire life within the walls of her home, managing household affairs, bearing children, being submissive to her father, husband, or brothers, and in the presence of strangers, hiding her face. Well, Hind truly is a daughter of her people. Over the years of marriage, she gave birth to 12 children for Sheikh, who has a total of 30. The current crown prince, Hamdan, is also her child. Unfortunately, not everything went smoothly with the shining offspring of the royal couple. Their eldest son, Rashid, passed away at the age of 33 from a heart attack. However, he had renounced the throne several years before his death, making his more popular and charismatic brother Hamdan the first in line to the throne. As we can see, Hind fulfilled her role as Sheikh's wife with brilliance. By the way, this lady raised not only her children but also took some under her patronage for charitable purposes. Moreover, when disputes arose with other wives, the Sheikh took their children, according to custom and country laws, and handed them over to the obedient first wife for upbringing. It was said that the woman was only happy about this, as she sincerely loves children. In any case, her strategy to be a submissive wife and not to shine bore fruit. If the Sheikh quickly and remorselessly parted ways with other ladies, then Hind remains in her place, as the First Lady of Dubai and the mother of heirs to the throne. However, it cannot be said that other ladies did not make her uneasy. The most striking reason for this was the marriage of the Sheikh to Princess Haya. Here was a complete contrast to Hind. This lady, also of high birth, received a splendid European education and did not wish to remain in the shadows. She flaunted fashionable, albeit covered attire everywhere, accompanied her husband to social events, gave interviews actively, and brightly appeared before cameras. In short, she proclaimed an entirely new image of a ruler's wife. For 15 years, the world marveled. Here she is, the new woman of the East. But it didn't work out. Haya fled from her husband to London, dropping her diamond shoes, taking 2 children and over $40 million for travel expenses with her. This was followed by a loud divorce, costing the Sheikh his reputation and a whopping $730 million settlement. With part of the funds, Haya bought a mansion in London, and since then she has been practically unheard of. It so happened that both the Sheikh's wedding and his divorce became the most expensive in history. But parting with a woman, as we see, is much more painful on the wallet, even for someone as wealthy as the Sheikh of Dubai. As for Hind, she is not a public figure and rarely leaves the palace. However, she is actively involved in charity, participates in the governance of the emirate, and promotes Arab women in government. She is accustomed to doing everything modestly and without fanfare, which invariably earns the respect of Eastern people. Her children have long grown up. Her sons are building careers in the government, and almost all her daughters are married to the wealthiest individuals. It's hard to say whether Hind considers her life enviable. After all, she moved from one golden cage to another barely at the age of 17. On the other hand, golden cages might seem quite cozy to many women who have tasted poverty and deprivation.